y'all. Dude, yesterday was probably one of the hardest things. No, I don't want to say hardest or saddest. It's not the appropriate time. Living in LA, there's a lot of people losing their homes. But update on yesterday, I sold Giuseppe the R6. Oh! But I posted it. So the thing is, I posted it up, just kind of trying to get a feeler out there. You know what I mean? Trying to see what this does sell for, and then also like I was willing to trade up, but someone got my price, hit my asking price, and he's gone, man. Transaction was smooth, everything was simple, everything was paid in cash, and it's a bummer. So let me just kind of like briefly talk to you guys about the things that I didn't really, I guess, necessarily like when I had Giuseppe. The R6 was basically a couple things. One, a lot of stuff was like, a lot of areas where bolts went into kind of got stripped out, and I don't know if that's age or, you know, time or whatever. Not a lot, not necessarily like a dramatic amount, but there was things that I had noticed and I was like kind of bummed about. So there's that. The rebuild was great, but also technology. You know, I've been riding this 22 Yamaha R6 for a while, and as analog as this bike is, I still get a digital display. I still get, you know, a gear indicator. You know, now these are all things you can buy with the R6. Yes, cool. You know, and lastly, I think one of the biggest things was reliability, and you know, it being an older bike with a lot of miles, the valves did get adjusted. It's hard to trust, me personally, to trust that I can go comfortably on a long ride and not get stuck anywhere, or you know what I mean, something were to happen. Like, so those are just like major things. And also the fact that it's such a hot bike. You know what I mean? Every bike can get stolen, but it's such a sought after bike where it does get a little sketchy. So it's, for me, I think it has a lot to do with, you know, one, the guy hit my asking price, which is huge. So I did make a profit on the bike, even after all, like, the rebuild and everything like that. And as bummed as I was about it initially, I think that's the reason why I posted it up for feelers. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why I had it up there, because I was trying to see what I can get, like, upgrade to. And unpopular opinion, you know, a lot of people don't care for it and a lot of people don't like it, but I'm already prone to that because I have the R7. So a lot of people don't like my bike anyways. I think I'm just gonna hold on to that money and just wait till March and just kind of, wow. I upshifted. I'm still in GP shift mindset. I'm gonna wait for the R9. I don't care. I like technology. I like the technology. The front fairing, yeah, sure. I mean, like the winglets and stuff, maybe it's not gonna look, nobody cares for it, but I know for a fact, bro, motorcycle enthusiasts will find a way to make the front end look good. Like, you know what I mean? Someone's gonna sell a piece that makes it even look crazier, or like, you know, like another, like a duck bill or something that goes right underneath that. So it's gonna look clean. It's gonna look more complete in the front. Granted, like, the technology in it's gonna be insane. I was watching videos all day yesterday, and I'm so excited for it, actually, because also even the price point, like, I think it's coming in at $12,500, and that's just such a good price point for you know, like, basically an MT-09. Yeah, but it's a brand new bike. Like, I'm getting a brand new bike that's mine, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna have a bunch of missing clips and stuff like that, like, you know. So I really don't care. At the end of the day, it's me who's riding the bike. It's me who's riding me home safely, or trusting that I'll get through my run safely, or whatever it is. So yeah, this R9 is gonna come in hot, boy. So just wait till March, man. I'm gonna get the black one for sure this time. I had my fun with blue. I do have my fun with blue still. Like, you know what I mean? I like the blue gray vibes, but I don't plan on changing out those fairings because this bike was used when I purchased it. Every bike I've bought was used, so I've never had a brand new bike to myself, and it's gonna be pretty rewarding and a good feeling, I must say. Like, if having all the clips intact, you know what I mean, like everything's in one piece, like I'm not zip tying everything, so I'm more excited the fact that I'm getting a brand new bike, and it's gonna happen. Like, I already know for a fact that it's gonna happen. And yeah, but on that note, I'm gonna grab some coffee real quick, and I want to redo the 5 reasons why I love my Yamaha R7, because the mindset I had before having the R6 was just like, this is the best I've got. There's nothing superseding the R7, so the R7 just started getting bland to me. Like, I was kind of getting over it, like, you know, and I want to redo that video. So let me grab some coffee, let me get my, you know, my energy, even though I feel like a little cracked out already. And we'll talk about it. Alright, I can't finish this, but Noche Buena at Boulevard Cafecito, the bombs. So I'm gonna toss this real quick, finish my coffee, and run a couple errands, drop off a phone to my mom, did a title transfer for Giuseppe, so it's official at AAA, and I'll be back right after this, man. We'll talk more about why I love the R7, my newfound love for the R7. And AAA, thank you for being a lifesaver. Way better than DMV, so recommend it for everybody. As far as everything else goes, I'm about to go pick up Curse, so I might as well make this video now before I hang out with Curse and don't talk at all, which I usually end up doing. So but yeah, I mean, so basically, let's talk about it. Let's talk about my newfound love, which sounds crazy, right? But I guess I understand what people mean now when, like, you know, when people are like, oh, like, you haven't used the whole bike, like, all that stuff. So when I first had gotten the R7, you know, it was already getting backlash. That's one kind of like major turn off and everything like that I had, but whatever, I stuck around, I thugged it out. I love the bike for what it was. I never experienced any faster bikes, so I really didn't have a say in, like, anything as far as like, oh, it's slow. Like, for me, it was pretty quick. So I started riding with other riders who clearly had like faster bikes, then I started noticing, okay, like, this is a huge, like, power difference. And once I got the R6 and really felt the power, dude, that thing is insane. Like, how fast it is, how much, like, this redline's at 10K. Like, that one was redlining at, like, I don't know if it was like 16 or 17. It was super high. So I had so much usability within the each gear. And I really did love it. It was really a fast bike, but it wasn't, I wouldn't necessarily say it wasn't fun, because I never got to canyon it. But I love with the R7, like, I use every bit of this bike. And now, ever since then, I've been able to, like, you know, just kind of like flick the bike around. Like, I'm more comfortable and confident on this than I was on the R6, because it was a step up, and this one felt like a step down from it. And yeah, dude, like, now I actually really do love this bike. So I do want to take it to the canyons. No ego, just all confidence on this bike, and see really what I can do with it. But that's, I guess, one of the major things that when I say newfound love, that's what I mean by it, because like it does feel like a smaller cc bike, even though it's technically not. And it's just the confidence I have on this thing now. It's so fun. It makes it so much more fun. And living in LA, like, you know, when I say I use the whole bike, like I really do use the whole power of this bike. I haven't leaned it as far as I want to. Like, that's my next goal. But now with the confidence I have, I think I have the ability to do so. So that's one major thing. The other major thing is the technology. Like, yes, very analog in a way where like there's no rider modes, but compared to the 2009 R6, like I have a gear indicator, you know, digital display. This has a quick shifter already, like, you know. And when I was doing the work under the body, it's so much easier. Like, you don't see so much ketchup and mustard like wiring and stuff like that. So yes, granted, it is a newer bike. A lot of things are a lot cleaner now and all that stuff. So it's just more like, I guess, friendly for me per se, rather than, you know, rebuilding the R6, which was kind of difficult. And on top of that, like a lot of the clips when I was redoing the fairings on the 09 R6, it was breaking, bro, because they're all older. Like, the bike was sitting for so long, and you know, it's hard to find clips and bolts for that bike. I mean, like, Amazon and eBay always sells like R7 bolts or something like that, and it's not even close to the exact bolt kit or like clip kit. So that was also like a pet peeve. And with this one, like, they still sell the parts for this bike, so you know, it's not a necessary issue. So yeah, man, this R7 does have a newfound love in my heart. I want to take care of it more. If anything, I'd feel more comfortable tracking this than tracking anything else. But I don't know, let's see if I can get a track day pre-March, like before the R9 comes out, because I know I'd have to, like, logistically speaking, I didn't care for two bikes, which is why I ended up selling one anyways. But that being said, I'm gonna end up trading this in for the R9. So I do want to see if I can get a track day in, and just, or if not a track day, then definitely like a canyon run in. But given all the fires and stuff, I think Acrest Highway is closed down right now, so I can't even run it there. Just to see like where we stand, you know, just to see where my skill set is, my abilities are. And I do have like a longer, slower process, I guess, than a lot of people, but I think my way is kind of like my way of doing things, like going from a 400 right to an R7, which is also technically, like, maybe if you were to put it in aspect like a slower class 600, and then after that we talk about upgrading to an R6, which is still a 600 but just way more power than the R7 itself. And then we go over to R9, you know, and then a leader bike. But that's the thing, like, I don't want to necessarily go straight to a leader bike and not even know how to ride a leader bike or be comfortable with it, you know what I mean? Like, I like getting comfortable first and then upgrading, so slowly graduating bikes and classes and all that stuff. Yeah, man, I really do appreciate the new technology, everything about this bike, how easy it is, how flickable it is, how hold on, I can't freaking breathe. How flickable it is. Yes, it's not as fast, but I get to use the entire bike instead of staying in like a lower gear, high rev range. It's interesting because what they're saying, how it's more of a city bike, like it's a more fun bike. Like, I didn't see that until I got the R6 and was able to finally realize it for myself. And I live in LA, bro. Like, we really don't have like open highways like that. We barely have open stretches of highways where it's not traffic. So it's tough to say like I need a leader bike, I want a leader bike. Yeah, I probably do, but I think, and this is gonna be like breaking news, I guess, but come March, I'm definitely getting that R9. I'm gonna put a down payment on it. I'm grabbing that R9, and yeah, I want a brand new bike. I I want something that's all me, like I said earlier. And it's got different rider modes. Like, the technology in that is what's captivating for me for the price point. Like, that makes more sense now. 12.5, I think 12,500 is what's going for with all that technology. Maybe not the fastest bike, but faster than the R7. And it's not a liter bike because I don't need all that liter power, and I could probably still use all the power band in the R9 here in LA, which makes it make sense. So super excited for that. I'm about to go meet up with the homie Curse, so we're gonna go do that and probably grab some grub and all that stuff. But I appreciate y'all for sticking around. I'm sorry that the R6 videos weren't longer, or there wasn't much more than what there could have been. I didn't keep it for that long. I probably barely had it for a month, so you know, it is what it is, man. We move on, things change. I appreciate y'all for thugging it out with me, for real. Everybody stay safe out there, especially everybody in SoCal with all the fires and everything. I appreciate y'all for real. Peace, love, all that. Peace.